One of my favorite details that I noticed this time was how Harry Dean Stanton is so aggressive and unpleasant in the bank robbery, but he's actually really, once he's in Beverly Hills, he feels he has to be relatively polite. So he speaks very gently to people when he's warning them not to, careful, sir, you might get your head blown off by this shotgun. And I thought he's a little bit intimidated by this upper class.
So wonderful actor.
No, his introduction, I think, is what a gift for an actor to be given a scene like that where he's eating those burgers and pull behind him, and then she leaves the scene and says, "Get me out of here."
That's my favorite moments in the movie.
Let's stick to this question of LA and the settings a little bit, because it's such an incredible location film, and it reminded me of glimpses of Los Angeles in that period that you see very, very rarely. I mean, I thought of the John Cassavetes killing of a Chinese bookie. It felt like these characters could actually cross paths with Ben Gazzara very easily at some point in the movie. And how did you discover the places you shot the film in?
Well, I had very little time, and some of it we had to scramble as I was shooting. I was fortunate. Stephen Grimes really is a wonderful, he's dead, wonderful production designer. And the irony of it was, when I first met him, Dustin had hired him. When I first met him, he turned out to be a very well-spoken, educated Englishman. And I thought, oh my God, what have I inherited here? And as it turned out, he turned out to be an absolutely brilliant guy with a sense of exactly what I was looking for, and an ability he helped me because I had so little time. He understood that we were looking for texture and a reality, and so he would line up like 4 or 5 locations, and I'd go rushing around on the weekend, really pinning them down.
And was the LA jail, the shower sequence and the search sequence, how did you get that? Was that a set?
No, that was the LA jail. There was only one set. There was only one set in this movie, and that set was when I started shooting the room that he rents, where Busey shoots up. When we got into the room and we started shooting, and I got the first shot, and he comes in and rents the room and pays the landlady. When we got to the next scene, when Busey comes in, it was such a small room that I realized we couldn't shoot, we couldn't turn around. And so both Roisman and Brian said to me, "We can duplicate this on the set." I said, "Come on." On the other hand, I felt I had no choice. And what I learned from that is really, and it's a lesson for me as a director, was that if you have really first-rate people, I mean, first-rate production designer and cameraman, you can create reality on the stage that will match. And in fact, sometimes you can improve. Just because you're on location doesn't mean it's not going to look phony. It can look phony even when you're on the real location. But if you have the right guys, I mean, it really will turn to your advantage. But actually, it was the only location that we had to duplicate because we had no choice. Everything else was shot actual location: the jewelry store, the bank, every other location.
Employment office.
Employment office. Yeah.
Right. If it's okay with you, I'd like to invite